Koskinen a shot. Shouldered away by Gustavsson. Flashing up his right arm. Side for Colin Miller. Back to Suter with a lane if he wants it. Wristed one that changed directions. Gustafsson the same rebound. Somehow stayed out. Taking a shot. And that just missed. Jam back out in front. What a stop by Gustavsson with his right arm.
So great. Until I saw the city.
Soft and warm.
Russo.
And I was younger.
Hey.
And open like a child.
My ding-a-ling. My ding-a-ling.
Man, it's been a while
Russo Radio.
since I felt that way.
Soft and warm, the quiet storm, KBLX. Welcome back. It's 11:07. Paul Allen joined by Michael Russo at Russo Hockey via Twitter. It's Russo Radio, The Athletic, and theathletic.com. I just love that Trampled by Turtle song. And I happen to know, because sources have informed me, Michael, that you and Eric Stolhansky are heading to Charleston, South Carolina tomorrow for a Trampled by Turtle, or is that today? Trampled by Turtle show. Holy cow.
Yeah, the concert's actually Thursday night, but we're going tomorrow. But yeah, that song is getting me excited to see them. I mean, they've had an incredible tour all summer long. Playing obviously Bayfront up in Duluth and Red Rocks as they always do, and out in the West Coast and other amphitheaters out there. And I've missed them all, unfortunately, because I've had a lot of one work, but two went to Sicily, so missed all the shows that I could have gone to. So I'm excited to go swoop into Charleston for a couple days, see Trampled at the start of this leg of their tour. And then I come back Friday and I'm heading to Hawaii on Saturday. So really excited.
Wow, that's an embarrassment of riches, but it certainly is well deserved with the way you execute your toil when they actually are on the ice, and when they are on the ice and the games count. Gustavsson, Gus Bus guy, 3 and 11.25. The bus is back. What do you think about that overall?
Yeah, I mean, hey, that contract is well more than they ever could have envisioned when they acquired him last year. This has obviously gone super well for them. When Cam Talbot really made a lot of, him and his wife, created some problems there at the draft last year where they wanted the extension and more money than Fleury. And obviously, Bill Guerin just got fed up and made the move for Gustavsson. I don't think they ever could have envisioned that he was going to be as good as he was last year. He got off to a rocky start to last season and then was just absolutely incredible from about Thanksgiving on, and had the second best goals against average and save percentage in the NHL to the eventual Vezina Trophy winner. So the hope now is that he'll improve on his postseason. By his own admission, he was average after that 51 save double overtime win in game one where Hartman scored. And, the hope is that this is going to continue. He said yesterday on a Zoom that this is now a proving point, that in 3 years, he's not just going to olay the job to Jesper Wallstedt. He wants to be the true number one, a star in this league, and then put the Wild in a tough position, either re-sign him and trade Wallstedt, or maybe he moves on. But we'll see. So it's a hefty price considering what they thought they were going to get. And even at the beginning of this, I think they thought it would be in the low threes. But when Samsonov got 3.55, and you look at the year that Gustavsson had, it just inched it a little higher. And so at least they were able to, and that was a smart move by Kyle Overhart. The way arbitration works is that you negotiate when you're going to have these hearings, and he made sure that his hearing was after Swayman and Samsonov. And so he was able to see what the new market was rather than being the goal, Philip being the one that actually creates the market. And so once Samsonov got 3.55, it created more of a defined market for Gustavsson, and 3.75 is where it landed.
Gustavsson, as in super special Gus Bus guy, and no relation to Bank Gustavsson. And he went 22-9-7 last year, 2.10 goals against average, 931 save percentage. What he's young, so there's going to be change. With Gustavsson, what can be better with his game?
I think just more consistency. I mean, the one disappointment about the playoffs is that if you look at their penalty kill and how bad it was in the postseason, if you actually look at all the goals against, there really wasn't a lot of adjustments the Wild could make. There were like 2 goals where they made mistakes down low, both Spurgeon and Brodin. The rest were bad goals, and Gus admitted it, and that needs to change. So I think it's just situations like that. But this is a confident kid that is working his butt off this summer. He's still very, very young, which was what was the intriguing thing about trading a 35-year-old for, somebody that was 10 years younger, which was, in hindsight, a really quality move by Bill Guerin and his staff. And I'm looking forward. I'm actually going to Sweden middle of August, toward the end of August. And I'm actually going to sit down with Gus there and talk to him for a while and do a huge story on sort of this new new chapter in his life. He's a first-time dad. He's somebody that enjoys his time away from the rink as well, but is really putting in a hard offseason. I will say the Wild laid down the gauntlet for him. They did not like the fitness level that he came into camp in last year, and that needed to change this offseason. And from what my understanding is that he's been working his butt off the ice, and so we'll see what he turns into. But I think that the hope is that he'll take on more of a load from Marc-Andre Fleury. Bill Guerin actually yesterday, which was not shocking, basically said, in his eyes, Gus is not the true number one of this team, that Fleury is still going to play a huge part. But I think if you ask Gustavsson, his goal is to pick off more starts than he did this year, and really create more of a 1A situation where he at least gets the bulk of the starts, like he did in the second half over Flower.
Did Bill Guerin cut this deal from a tropical location?
He is in a tropical location. Chris O'Hearn's the one who cut the deal. This is the way it usually works. So, okay. Bill's the spokesman. He hands, trust me, he's toe to toe with Chris, but Chris is the chief negotiator of every single deal.
Yeah, those wacky kids at 10K Takes, I follow them on Twitter, and, they tweet frequently, which is cool. And I saw Bill, and his hair was reminiscent of mine after a haircut. There were palm trees behind him, and he had a little bit of a sunburn. And I'm like, damn, look at this man. I mean,
he is. I don't want to say where he is, but let's put it this way. When he talked to me yesterday, he sent me a picture of what he was looking at, and I was pretty intrigued. And then I told him that I would be doing the same thing when I'm in Hawaii next week. Yeah,
he's on the Isle of Patmos, just off the shores of Greece or Sicily, one of the two. So people can find him there. Now, in closing, given you are going to Charleston with Mr. Stolhansky to watch Simonette and Trampled by Turtles, I did some deep diving, and I found what is widely considered the very best coffee place in Charleston, and it's on East Bay Street. It's called Mercantile and Mash, or Merc and Mash as the locals call it. It's more than a great place to grab a gourmet coffee. They also have a retail shop selling coffee beans and wine. So you can, I know you like wine, so you can bring some coffee beans back. But this got me too. Mercantile and Mash offers one amenity that is a rarity for coffee shops in the popular Charleston: free parking. So just keep in mind Mercantile and Mash for you and Stolhansky, okay?
I will be there. I'm actually typing it into the computer right now to see how far it is from my hotel. So
Mercantile and Mash. Don't forget to get one of those clean wipes for your camera on your computer. You are traveling, and we will chat soon. Okay.
Yep. By the way, 1.6 miles from my hotel, so I will be there.
Okay, you definitely need a car. See you later.
All right, see you, buddy.
Russo Radio at Russo Hockey. It's 11:15. Now, when we return, this is going to be unbelievable. To get to the Super Bowl, well, when you get to the Super Bowl, fee, fi, fo, fum, hopefully Statsy sends in a suggestion that is not like a bum. Well, that's going to be part of next, because we need a slogan. And then if we get to the Super Bowl, we need our defense. The Love Covenant is a we, us, and our covenant. And do you guys play for the team? You guys play on the team? No, we don't. But we love the team, and that's who we are. So for us to get to the Super Bowl, we will have a slogan, but we need our defense to dramatically improve from last year to complement that offense. And Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator, had a really, really snappy, sharp press conference yesterday. You will hear that also. So some Vikings defense conversation, some fee-fi-fo-fum, and much more when 9 to noon continues on
EA on the Fan.
Submissions via email, the KFAN Bradshaw and Bryan text line, Super Bowl slogans. Excited to run through a bunch of those, which we can do during the final segment. But as PA mentioned last segment, not only head coach Kevin O'Connell, he spent about 90 seconds in front of the microphone or so yesterday, just kind of pumping things up. Daniil is back, as in Daniil Hunter, number 99. But then Brian Flores spoke to the media, so let's listen to it. A presser playback.
Got everybody good. I just, before Flo steps up, just wanted to touch on the fact of how excited and really happy I am that we were able to come to a really positive solution for both Daniil and the Minnesota Vikings with what Rob and Kwesi and Daniil's representatives were able to do. Process was a good one, where my daily dialogue with Daniil and as we continue to learn about each other and him to know, I'm always going to try to do what I say and make sure he knows our intent, especially with a player of Daniil's caliber. We are a better football team with Daniil Hunter, and I'm really, really excited about that. But just want to say, tip my hat to Quace and Rob, and like I said, Daniil's representation for getting something, getting a really positive solution done. And Daniil will be, a full participant from training camp from here on out. And with that, we will have a plan for him that starts out. He was out here for the walkthrough. He'll take part of the early part of practice, and then we will build up his reps as we go with a mindset, knowing we've got some real important dates coming up, whether it be joint practices or any of our other work we'll do throughout training camp, with a mindset to build towards that. And I'll keep you guys updated and make sure we lean on Tyler and Uriah and Josh and Derek Keys as far as how that plan plays out. But once again, just very, very excited. Great to see him back out there in the defensive huddle, and I know his teammates were excited as well. So with that, I will turn it over to our defensive coordinator.
Hey guys, I'm ready for questions whenever you guys are ready.
Can you put into words what this means for your defense to know that he will be part of your defense?
I think there's just a level of excitement. I talked about Daniil the other day. I think he's an exceptional player, and we're excited to have him as part of the defense, not only as a player, but just kind of the leadership that he brings. I know that he's a hard-working individual. I also know that he's, a man of few words, but he leads by example, and his actions speak for themselves. And we're excited to have him. We're excited to get started. He's been in some meetings and been working, but now to get out on the field with his teammates, you can already see just that dynamic. Him working with, D linemen, linebackers, secondary guys, all just trying to get on the same page already. So we're off to a good start, but at the same time, we got to continue to grow and learn as a group, and that's the daily challenge.
Brian, how do you see kind of him fitting into your defense? I know that a player like Daniil can fit into kind of any defense, but just with picking up the nuances and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I see him fitting in as a an every down player, who brings a level of toughness in the run game as well as the pass game. We'll do, everything we can schematically to try to put him in good positions like we do with all players. He brings an element of, at least in the pass rush, from a pass rush standpoint, an element of, you feel good in one-on-one situations. And then inevitably, if we're doing well in one-on-one situations, the hope is that, they add someone else, which either puts less guys in coverage, which is good, or opens things up for somebody else. So as we see how our offense deals with that, and then how other teams deal with that on a week-to-week basis, we will make the adjustments. But having a plan like Daniil, no one's upset about it.
Right. Do you have a sense of whether his best fit is as a stand-up rusher or frequent stance?
I think he's got the ability to do both. I think there's going to be times where he's stood up. There's going to be times where he's got his hand in the ground. I'm really been a personal preference guy from that standpoint. I think you can play that position with your hand in the ground in a 2-point, 3-point. So my philosophy has always been, as long as you can get your job done or do what we're asking you to do. I'm not a big right foot up, left foot up, inside foot up. Everyone's body mechanics are a little bit different. But watching him, he's got a lot of experience with his hand down. And there's obviously a lot of defense where he will have his hand down. So obviously he'll have some familiarity with that. But there may be some times where he feels more comfortable in a 2-point. So we'll see. I mean, he's a guy who's played a lot of football. He's got a good feel for the game, and when you got a veteran player, a lot of times as a coach, you just got to put trust that that player, or really more than anything, you got to listen to what the perspective of that player, and then there's a lot of dialogue that happens after that. So he and I, myself, Mike Smith, we'll all kind of work together collaboratively to help him and put him in best positions. And that's the same for every player.
What about in terms of trapping him into coverage? I know he did some of that last year and in other years, but probably more last year. I don't know if you have thoughts on how you like people in those positions to split that up.
Yeah, I probably like him going forward more than going backwards, personally. But there are some instances where he may have to drop. If he's getting doubled and he drops, and there's two guys that. There's some instances where we can use that to our advantage. So I like a lot of things he does going forward.
Ryan, with the Caleb Evans, the time that you've had to see him around the building and probably some this offseason as well, how has he stuck out to you to the point of kind of learning the job in his first, what I guess will be his first full season in the NFL in some ways?
Caleb, like a lot of the young players, he's really working at it on a daily basis. He's working the technique. He's working the fundamentals. He's in great condition. It's important to him. And I think he's improving, on a daily basis. We're 4 days in. Today's the first day in pads. It's still very early. But I think he's off to a good start. We're on the right trajectory. We just got to keep working and just keep trying to get, still one of KO's phrases, 1% better every day. And I think he, as well as the rest of that young DB group, Booth, Lewis, Mackay, they're all working to get comfortable within the scheme, to get more confidence in the techniques and fundamentals that work for them. It's funny, you talk to players, there isn't one technique or one fundamental that's universal. Everyone's a little bit different. Some guys are better at press, some guys are better at off. Some guys like the quick jam, some guys like to just stay at the line of scrimmage and mirror a receiver, just talking DB. And it's just finding what fits best for each player. And I think that's what Caleb's doing. I think that's what the entire group's doing.
How much do those young corners, I guess, feel the freedom to experiment with those things as they're just trying to get their feet under them with the scheme? You almost have to tell them, hey, you have the latitude to do this?
I think, yeah, it's their team. You know, it's their defense. It's not mine. It's theirs. They take ownership of it. I'm not going to lose it. If they, make a call or try something in practice, that's what practice is for, to see if you can do it. I learned that a long time ago. So you want a quick jam, you want to do this. If it works, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, we're going to try it our way. All right, so, but I think, as a coach, you got to have few different techniques, just so you're not always doing the same thing. And some guys' skill set works with this technique differently than it works with another one. So, I try to give them a lot of latitude, within the call to change it to a different call, within the techniques to change it to a different technique.
Teaching the new system. You try to give them as much as you possibly can, or you try to spoon feed it so they get it before they move on to the next step?
I like to throw it all at them. And see what sticks. I think our guys have done a good job of working really hard to, get an understanding of what we're trying to do, when we're trying to do it, why we're trying to do it. We spent quite a bit of time walking through it. So I think if you can take it, from the meeting to the walkthrough, apply the techniques and fundamentals in individual, group periods, and then try to tie it all together in the team periods. That's really to me, the formula for having some or building some consistency throughout the group. I think our guys have taken to that over the first 4 days. It's a little different once you put the pads on, as everyone knows. So we're excited about that. But overall, I try to give them a lot of information. I've always been of the feeling that guys can handle it. I think I learned this from Mike T. If you give a capable man good information, he's going to run with it. So that's what we try to do. I think our guys are capable. They put in the work, they put in the time, they can do it. If they don't, then more times than not, there's something that's a little bit off. But I understand they're going to make mistakes. I understand they're going to, learn things through trial and error. And I'm okay with that.
Ryan, on Saturday, Lewis C. had that interception where he crashed down to the flat, played in practice. What went into him diagnosing that play and then being able to make it? Did that stand out to you?
Obviously, it stood out. It's a great play. I guess I start to think about all the other little things that you guys may not see that he's doing, just from an alignment standpoint, from a communication standpoint, from a processing standpoint, all the things that lead up to a play like that. That's kind of where I go. I think he's doing a lot of good things from that standpoint, just for learning and processing and understanding, so that he can let his God-given gifts, show on the field consistently. So that was a good play. It was great to see his teammates celebrate him. That's what I really like watching on the tape. That's what I showed him. You see the entire sideline light up. It's funny, you get in a meeting, why aren't you celebrating? Why aren't you celebrating? You should be yelling. You should be jumping a little bit more. But it was good to see, you want to see that kind of joy and camaraderie. Look, it's a game. And it's a hard game, and we put a lot on them. There's pressures from all over the place that these guys, they face on a daily basis. So enjoy it when you make a good play.
Last couple for Coach.
Brian, are there cases where Ivan Pace's height or lack thereof worked to his advantage? Leverage-wise?
Yeah, I think he's got some built-in leverage. You don't really see that until, a day like today. But based off his college film, he's got some built-in leverage. He's got speed and quickness. So I think he's another young guy who's really taken the information and worked hard to put it into action. Like a lot of our young players. And I'm excited to see him, moving forward. Just like I'm excited to see really a lot of guys in that room. BA and Hicks and Reeder and Dye. a lot of competition in that room, but Ivan, he's a good young player. He's got some ability. I've never been one. There's always that small DB who can play. Antoine Winfield comes to mind immediately. Small linebacker, small defensive tackle, et cetera, et cetera. But they've got that, those instincts that, just cut me off, Carly. It's all right. They got it. But they got instincts, they got ability that allows them to overcome some of the height or weight or whatever it is.
You guys ironed out positionally where Jay Ward's going to be?
I think we're still in the process of, evaluating players. I think once we get a few days in pads, we'll have a little better feel for, who we want where. Today's a big day about technique fundamentals. Who can get off blocks? And be in position to make a tackle.
That's defensive coordinator Brian Flores. You heard head coach Kevin O'Connell for about 90 seconds on the front end of that, addressing the media yesterday. A presser playback, 9 to noon. Vikings training camp underway, continuing at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center, and we're here to cover it. Final segment around the corner, your Super Bowl slogans with some odds and ends as we wrap up 9 to
KFAN, the Fan.
I just logged out of Twitter, and there was a Super Bowl slogan suggestion from like 4C Green or something like that. From wallowing in self-pity to hello, Sin City.
Kind of like that one.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
It's not bad.
From wallowing in self-pity to hello, Sin City. Let's see. How about this? These are the only two that I wrote down. From blackjack and... Hold on. Oh, here we go. From blackjack and drinks to a Super Bowl that stinks. Thank you. Next.
Why would the Super Bowl stink? Are you planning on 0-5?
Dude, I mean, come on. I mean, it's...
Oh, okay.
We're 0-4 in Super Bowls.
I know we are.
Well, it's the percentages would then lean the way emotionally that it might stink. But it probably wouldn't. All right, we'll eliminate that one.
I thought you were mentioning the aroma of a certain herb.
No, it stinks. No, it stinks. Mine stunk. Let me try another one. No, I blew it because I wrote 57. I forgot it was 58. Mouse hates when I mess up the Super Bowl number. In fact, because we've been friends for nearly 30 years, Johnny the Mouse Mickelson, captain of the 83 Wayzata Club hockey team, he wants to add, you idiot.
Yeah.
It's the same number as your age.
Right.
Every single year.
It is.
I blew it again. Super Bowl 57 delivers the Vikings of Vegas heaven.
Well, it sounds awesome.
I know, it sucks.
It's just a year old.
Yeah, it sucks.
The tough thing for Mouse, though, is that the extra costs incurred when you think about his life and everything. When he gets hit with a big repair bill for wildfire, his bicycle, and simultaneously he has to pay for the yearly tattoo removal of changing the Roman numerals on his arm.
I understand.
For the updated Super Bowl number. So I think that's why he's so dialed into it.
I understand. So that's why we become reliant on Rube Nation.
Yeah.
To create Super Bowl slogans. Do you have any you'd like to get out there before we jumpstart these? Because this will trickle into tomorrow.
Yeah. So, and I compiled my favorites from the Rubes.
Yeah.
I put some down. I just put a couple of simple ones.
Hold on. Let me get to the snob page.
Okay.
My ding-a-ling. My ding-a-ling. All right, go ahead.
All right. So, seeking a Lombardi bounty down in Clark County. A little wordy.
That's brilliant.
Dessert in the desert.
I mean, I was just being positive there.
I know.
With that.
It's kind of yeah, I know.
That was a buzzer. I was seriously not trying to hurt feelings here.
This one's evergreen, and I change the number every year. 58th times the charm.
I love that. Yeah, at 58th times the charm. Charm. I like it.
All right. How about this? Championship merch filling bodegas after winning in Vegas.
Say it again.
Championship merch filling bodegas after winning in Vegas. Okay. All right. Can't win them all.
And if you did, was that one of yours or a Rube Nation?
No, these are just the ones that I wrote.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's right.
We're well past positive reinforcement.
I have a clear-cut exterior spot required after the show, and I need you. So therefore,
that's right.
Yeah, okay.
That was elite.
I'm not charged. I don't get lost for a show. How about this? I like this one.
Yeah.
And I'm pronouncing the state a specific way. The Armada.
Do we have names with the Rubes?
Oh, I got a bunch. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You were asking for mine.
Oh, I thought you only had one or two.
The Armada in Nevada.
Well,
that's right.
Let's figure out the correct pronunciation of the state.
Well, Nevada. I think you can do that. Tomato.
Maybe, or the state may have one singular pronunciation that was given to it when it became established a state. So that's a key here because of ada.
Yes.
What's next?
And you can't say Armada.
Yeah, you can't say Armada.
Okay. Winning a chip like moving from Fremont to the Strip.
Hey.
All right, let's get to the Rubes.
Oh, wait, I like that last one. Winning a chip or a ship?
Chip.
Yeah, got it.
To the Rubes.
All right.
Favoritism, by the way, in all future related bits like this goes to those that actually left their names. So some of these don't have their names.
Yeah.
From the lakes to high stakes.
Hold up.
That's right.
I like it. Do you?
It's not bad.
Next.
From double chins to the city of sin. Frankly, you'd be bringing your double chins with. I think that's
City of Sins.
Sins.
From double chins to City of Sins.
Netflix for show, Vegas for dough.
Oh. In.
Let me see here. JD in Duluth. From losing the wild card to Las Vegas Boulevard.
Ooh.
I like that one.
Ooh.
That's
right.
For me.
I mean, that thing is so good, it makes me a little funky. Hey! Now, when I really like it, you're going to get, that's what that one gets.
All right. Kirko takes his drip to the Strip.
Sorry.
Troy and Detroit Lakes. This is dumb. From sips at chips to the Vegas Strip.
Next.
Brett and Fancato doing the gritty down in Sin City.
That's right.
I like this one too, John in Blaine. From the land of 10,000 lakes to the land of 10,000 mistakes.
Hey, that can't be beat. Well, it hasn't been beaten so far. It's so funky. A flashlight is illuminating. Ah!
All right, how about this? From Minnesota Nice to rolling the dice.
From Minnesota Nice,
it's Mailman Mark
to rolling the dice. That's an in the middle. That's
Hail Mary.
That's a Hail Mary that may be complete.
Let's be a reminder though. Mailman Mark is a civil servant.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we appreciate those that deliver our mail.
No doubt.
So they get the important ones where they need to go.
Very, very fair point.
Vikings sailing the ship to storm the Strip. That's Jake Down in Ames.
What do you think?
It needs to be reworded.
Reworded a little
Yeah,
bit.
let's workshop that before we get it to the editor.
Give us one more for wrap on the show, and save the rest for tomorrow.
I got a ton of them, but this one, I really like this one.
All right.
From slots and craps to confetti and claps.
Hey, the confetti's falling. The show has come to a conclusion. Let's clap in advance of the program. And it will put you to sleep. Oh, it might even make you weep. Yeah, that's good, man. That's cool. Thank you. The Rube inclusion's phenomenal. So I think we got three. I think we got 3 or 4 of maybe 10 to 12 that we need. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
That's going to put a wrap on the 9 to noon presentation. Can't wait to jump back into it tomorrow on a Wednesday. For Nordo, I'm Paul Allen. Thank you very much for listening from the 651 Carpets Plus studios. Thank you for listening to a Talker Tuesday. Cool Mo D has rolled in to put a wrap on the show.
And thanks to the Rubes, I used your submissions to create my rap today, which is brought to you by Casey's. You got 89-cent medium fountain and frozen drinks all summertime long, so you're keeping cool that way. And then you're eating amazing Casey's pizza, including their signature thin crust, which is available now, too. Casey's, here for good.
Vikes Bites.
Today, overall, I'm feeling great. We're daydreaming about Super Bowl 58, constructing slogans and some sort of theme as we all rube out to our favorite team, kind of like heading down to Sin City. Why wouldn't JJ be bringing with him the gritty? The host in his ever-quivering double chin, the extra sweat on his unibrow in the city of sin. And it's Kirk, only Netflix is for show, because he'll be in the 702 for dough, throwing short of the sticks in the wild card, head out of the sunroof on Las Vegas Boulevard. Now we in the land of 10,000 lakes, taking over the land of 10,000 mistakes, always faking our way to Minnesota nice, feeling the felt as we're rolling the dice.
This show is naughty and might make you a potty mouth.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show or back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.